Good day, I am Prophetess Sade Gilmore. Let me go here and talk on this word um, that the Lord have given me um, recently. Now that my 90 days of suffering is coming to an end, if this word is for you, I can't tell you, but God can. So if it's for you, may He make it be known as for you when it is for you. Because say it like that, meaning just because a word is released uh, today doesn't mean it's for you today. Um, it could be for you next year or the year after that. I don't know. It may not even must be for you. But let's just get into this word that the Lord gave me. I know personally it is for me. It was a setup, a bait, said God. Let's hope. Okay, so it's no secret. The Lord had me in a 90-day suffering. That started early September, first beginning of September. I released in a video because incorrectly thought the suffering had started in July because of my kingdom spouse ugly ways that he was doing against me. But the Lord had to correct me and allow me to know that it started the first week of September. And it's now coming to an end this week. The Lord is bringing me out of that suffering. Thank you, Jesus. This week. Um, but now let's talk on something because uh, now that the Lord is bringing me, let me say it like this: if this word is for you, you was in position with God, like Jonah. This is the example He gave me, and the Lord told you to do something, whether it was move somewhere, tell somebody something, do something, whatever, however. You chose to not do it, Jonah. In fact, you chose to do the opposite, Jonah, getting out of position with God and your disobedience to the Lord. So the Lord chose to allow you to suffer for a period of time. The suffering could have been likened to Job, but he allowed you to suffer for a period of time because you got out of because of your disobedience, causing you to get out of position with God. Well, now Jonah, the Lord is bringing you out, and as the Lord said, don't go back no more. That's exactly how He told me. I'm bringing you out. Don't go back no more. I am a jealous God. So now you're getting you either done got back into position even during the suffering. The Lord allowed the suffering so you can get back into position, cry back out to Him, or now you're getting in position. Anyway, go you passed the test. Because there was a test definitely during this at the towards the end. Um, at least I can speak for myself. It was a test. Um, you passed it. You completed the process. Okay, so now the Lord is finna restore you. He's finna restore those things that were stolen from you during your time of suffering, or even before. All I can tell you is how the Lord told me restoration is coming this week, starting this week. Um, but with all that being said, let me say this so you won't be discouraged. One of the things, if it's for you, one of the things that the Lord is going to restore to you is your kingdom spouse, your relationship, your marriage. Um, but don't look at it. Okay, let me say it like this. He's saving it. He's taking it out of the hands of the enemy, right? Because the enemy had your spouse, what you mean? He had your relationship. Because of the ungodly spirits behind your kingdom spouse, in the counterfeit. So he was in your marriage, in your relationship. But now the Lord has, because you got back in position, now the Lord is taking it out of the hands of the enemy, right? And He's placing it back into your hands, giving it back to you, saving it, right? But now the Lord is he's telling you to get out the way and allow me to process Him. Uh, That doesn't mean it's not being restored. It hasn't been returned back to you. Don't look at it and say, well, Lord, I thought you said you was restoring me this week. But my kingdom spouse is still with the counterfeit. Now the Lord is going to process him. He's allowing this separation, or you can say another separation, this period of separation, the second period of separation, you can say it like that, because now your spouse is under judgment. First, you was out of order, and the Lord allowed you to suffer. Now, He saved your relationship, and now y'all. Because if he was to bring him back now, although he saved the relationship, but if he was to bring the spouse back now, just because he saved the relationship, then that means you're gonna be suffering too, because that person is gonna suffer, and you connected to them, so you gonna suffer too. He don't want that, for one. For two, if he was to bring that person back before he processed them, it's gonna be the same thing that it was before you went into your suffering. They're sleeping around, or whatever ways that they had him. The Lord don't want that neither. So he's allowing another period of separation, because now he can work on your spouse. Speaking, being transparent, the first period of separation, because the Lord was working on me and dealing with me and my disobedience, Jonah, because I chose to go the other way and disobey the Lord, right? But let's go on. So I don't know if I said it now or not, because I've been talking so much doing this video. But one thing, before I went into the 90 days of suffering, the Lord did tell me on August the 22nd, He said, Judgment Day, November the 16th, said God. Meaning the day that He was going to judge the actions and deeds of your enemies that they was doing towards you. Yes, He allowed you to suffer, but let's be honest, these people have been warned many a times before. I could be transparent by myself. They have been warned to not come after you many times before. So He judged them November the 16th. Then one thing the Lord told me last week, He said, matter of fact, let me read it exactly to you how He told me. Last Thursday, He said, where is it at? Judgment is being released starting next week. So this is the week. Now that you done got back in position, now that you passed the test, all that good stuff. Now the Lord is going to release judgment out against those that were judged November 16th for their deeds and actions that they were doing towards you, against you. But let me go here and say this too, one thing. Because now, the 40 days storm is going to start. This 40-day storm, the Lord is using it for elevation on your behalf. He's going to elevate you, promote you. However that comes during the 40 days, I can't tell you, but that's what a storm is for, to elevate you. But also, during these 40 days, it's open judgment against your enemies. And in my case, for my kingdom spouse too, because the Lord already know he's not returning after this 90 days suffering. So now he's under the judgment of God, which is what the Lord wants. He saved the relationship, but now He got to process him. But let's go on. So it's open judgment. Anybody can get it, said God, during these 40 days. The 40-day storm, which is one thing I need to talk about, it starts on the 4th through January the 12th. It's just 40 days. I thought I had already been through the storm, which I released on a video. I thought I was getting ready to come out the storm. The Lord had to correct me. No, I was still in my suffering, 90 days of suffering. But one thing the Lord told me, He said, I allowed you to suffer. Now I'm finna allow them, said God, for they were warned not to come after you, said the Lord. So with that being said, that's another thing the Lord told me on the video to release. I released the thing earlier this year or last year. Said, don't find yourself in the line of fire, meaning you wasn't one of the ones that got judged on November the 16th. But during this open judgment time period of 40 days, you chose to join yourself with one of the people that's under His judgment, or you chose to put your mouth, join the battle by trying to fight against the person that God is fighting for during these 40 days. However, whatever, just don't find yourself in a line of fire. One thing I will quickly say is, behind my main enemy, Emma Hollins, the Lord told her back in 21 that she can expect His judgment come January, which is that she's finna suffer.